In 2016, for the first time, the UN expanded the number of holidays it has. There are some holidays which are fixed holidays, which are fixtures, but at that stage, there was a feeling that these do not reflect the sentiments of other parts of the world. So going back to 2015, there was a discussion in the UN General Assembly, and the number of holidays were added to, and what was called was floating holidays were added. So one of the floating holidays was Deepavali or Diwali, the Indian festival of lights. There was another one, I think it was Yom Kippur. Both these are age-old traditions. They reflect universal values, and they reflect common basis on which the UN Charter exists. So this was another facet of civilizational understanding which we thought we could use. So the next year, after the first year in which the floating holidays concept came into being, we then requested the the UN Postal Administration to consider using some of the photos that were available at the first celebration of Deepavali at the UN. And so there was a stamp which was brought out in 2017, which added to the global understanding of a certain principle, which again is common to the ethos of many civilizations. Deepavali stands for the fight between good and evil. That's a constant discussion at the UN. It embodies itself in many ways. Also, it's a celebration of victory of righteousness over evil, or light over darkness. Again, this is a constant endeavor of diplomats at the UN. So it was befitting. For the first time, the UN building was awash with Deepavali colors and was lit up, and it was a proper way to commemorate this on a long-term basis. So Diwali is, of course, Indian in origin, but it's celebrated by many, many member states. There are more than a dozen member states of the UN who celebrate different aspects of Diwali, and whose populations are embedded in that ethos. So we did have a considerable support from others who were also celebrating Diwali. That was one thing. The other was that, as I mentioned, that victory of good over evil is a global norm. It's something that enthuses everybody. It's there in many civilizational thinking, in the thinking of many civilizations, but many didn't know what it embodied for a country like India and for those who celebrate it. So it did gather a lot of interest, because many realized that what they were doing in terms of practice was a precept which underpinned the civilizational ethos of India and many other countries. Also at that time, there was an effort in the United States to have a Diwali stamp. Again, that was a long-standing effort by some Indian groups. There was a very, very strong movement which led to finally the issuance of a Diwali stamp by the US Postal Administration, which was again very popular. So the atmosphere was perhaps conducive both in the United States and at the UN for it to succeed. I was just a small catalyst in that effort.